Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a hilarious story for you here today titled Man Dumps His Fiancée Right Before Their Wedding After Finding Out That She Used to Work as a Dancer. You know, women know that men don't like this stuff, okay? If you're a woman and you have previously worked as a dancer, you've worked in the night industry, maybe you used to have an OF account or something like this, women know that men don't want to commit to these types of women. They will try and shame us. They'll try and tell us that we're not a real man. But at the end of the day, a lot of men are not interested in dating women who work in this kind of industry. Now, so what they do is, of course, they lie about it. There are please understand, there are so many women out there who previously have worked in these industries or who have previously had OF accounts, and they don't tell their boyfriends. They don't tell their future husbands. Hell, they don't tell their husbands. So it's always great to see a story like this where a man luckily finds out what actually happened and, you know, what she was previously, and he's able to call it off ahead of time. So this is a fiancé in this particular story. So let's jump into it. This is the story of a 28-year-old man who was engaged to a 26-year-old woman. They were just a week away from their wedding when a conversation with one of her friends uncovered a piece of her past that she had never told him, that she used to work as a dancer at a club for 2 years. The news sent him into a spiral of doubt, frustration, etc., etc. Okay, so let's jump into it. He says, I, a 28-year-old male, just called off my wedding after finding out that my fiancée, who's 26, used to work as a dancer and she never told me. This is what I'm saying, guys, right? She never divulged this information. And women will say, oh, our past doesn't matter. It absolutely does, right? You go out there, you apply for a job, and you've committed multiple felonies. Try telling the person who's hiring you that your past shouldn't matter. It is highly relevant, guys. Please don't let women gaslight you into thinking that it's not relevant. In the same way, right? If there's a dude out there who's committed multiple felonies, again, probably not the best idea to marry him either. Like, can we just use some common sense here, okay, that past is an indicator of the future? Let's jump in. I'm still trying to process everything he says. I've been sitting in my apartment surrounded by what was supposed to be wedding decor and honeymoon plans, trying to figure out how something that felt so solid could shatter in a single conversation. He says, we have been together for 3.5 years, met through friends, clicked fast, etc., etc. So they've been together for 3.5 years. How old would that make her? Let's look. She's 26, so she would have been 22 and a half at the time. So she would have been dancing, you know, a couple years while she was between 18 and 22, I assume, something like that. You know, again, crazy, right? Men don't want to date this. We really don't. I think a lot of guys are very clear. I think women understand this. And moreover, on that point, women understand this, and the reason you can tell how they understand is because they don't tell the men. You know, like a guy will work as, you know, he'll work through 3 different professions before he meets a woman. I guarantee you the woman will probably end up knowing all of the professions that he's been through, you know, because the man has nothing to hide, especially if he thinks it's relevant and then maybe, you know, maybe she should know about it. He will most likely tell her. In fact, I would be very skeptical if he didn't. Anyway, she worked in elder care. She loved baking, always smelled like vanilla and mint. We moved in together a year into dating, and I proposed last summer. So she cried, she had a great time, etc. Last Friday, I was at her bachelorette party. Yeah, we did a joint night out thing with her friends and mine, just something casual. Her old colleague roommate flew in, and we all ended up back at our place having drinks and laughing. I don't remember how the topic came up, but someone joked, remember your dancer days. She froze, I froze, everyone went silent for a second too long. I said, wait, what dancer days? She laughed it off quickly and said it was just a college thing and tried changing the subject, but I was not laughing. Okay, and so this is how you know, again, that the woman didn't want him to know because she's actively avoiding it here. And then not only this, the only reason that this man finds out about this is not because she told him. The reason he finds out is because her friend let it slip. Okay, so it wasn't even, she had this on lock. She never intended to tell him. She was just trying to go through with the marriage, hoping that this wouldn't be understood at any given point in time. He says, she hid it from me for over 3 years. That night, I asked her about it directly. She admitted that she worked as a scripper for 2 years during college, to pay for schools and bills. Guys, I am so sick of hearing these like things that women will put forward. Oh, I worked in this industry because I needed money. Yeah, everybody needs money to live. If you're broke and you're at college, of course you need money. You know what the dudes do? They go and get a job, one that doesn't require them removing certain garments, for example. But these women, they're always just like, man, it was so difficult. Yeah, it was difficult for the men too. Except the difference is the men would go and get jobs that were respectable. Even ones that a lot of jobs that a lot of society wouldn't consider glamorous, men will take those jobs. But women are just out here taking the easy ones and then trying to downplay it and then hoping that they don't get judged by their, I don't know, fiancé, for example. She said she never told me because she was ashamed and thought I would judge her. Absolutely correct. She was right. I did judge her, not because she did what she did, but because she never told me. How do you lie by omission for 3.5 years into an engagement up to a wedding? I mean, right, this question right here. Let me answer it. How do you lie by omission for 3.5 years? The women do this all of the time. This is not a difficult thing for women to do, guys. Like, men will ask questions like this, and I'll be like, you just don't understand, do you? 3.5 years? I mean, guys, women lie for more. People in general can keep lies going for more than 3.5 years. 3.5 years to some women is nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. Especially if you're talking about hiding something like night work. Women will oftentimes take that stuff to their grave with the dudes that they are trying to get commitment out of. Okay, so not that difficult for women, to be honest with you. It's really not that difficult for these women who have these sorts of pasts to lie by omission for 3.5 years. This is not some challenge, okay? Just because, see, the thing is, the dude probably couldn't see himself doing such a thing, so he assumes that she couldn't, but that's just not the truth. He says it wasn't the past, it was the secrecy. I mean, I would be, if it were me, guys, it wouldn't, it's like, this guy is saying, hey, listen, it's the fact that she never told me. I don't know about you, but even if you were with a woman and she told you outright, she would still not be wife material. The secrecy doesn't matter. And this is why the women don't tell you, is because they know they get judged for it. He says, look, I get that people have pasts. I've had mine, but I've never hidden anything serious from her. I felt like I was marrying someone I knew that inside and out. Turns out she had a whole part of herself walled off from me. And if this hadn't come out by accident, would she have ever told me? Would I have gone our entire marriage without knowing? The answer to that is yes, probably. You would have gone well over 3.5 years of lying by omission, and she would have kept this going for as long as possible, at least until she could divorce you and take your things, in all likelihood. We fought for 2 straight days. She said that I was being controlling. I told her I was being blindsided. She accused me of caring more about my ego than her sacrifices. I told her this wasn't about her job, it was about trust. I realized I couldn't go through with the wedding. If we were starting our marriage with this kind of dishonesty, what would the rest of it look like? I mean, this guy, to me, it sounds like he was trying to come across as one of those guys who, oh, I don't care about her past. But really he does, I think. Like, this whole trust thing is usually just a deflection. I think if this man is probably being honest with himself, now I don't know the exact truth. I'm just going off of probabilities here, okay, of what I see of men in general, so I could be wrong. But I think this dude probably cares about the profession that she used to be in. He just doesn't want to be seen as one of those controlling guys. To hell with that, guys. Like, if some woman comes out and I'm never getting married, just by the way, but let's just say I had a wife, okay, for the sake of argument, and I find out that she had been working in the night industry for a long period of time many years ago. It's not the trust thing. She would be gone, she would be divorced so damn quickly. And the reason is because of the profession. Yeah, she lied, but honestly, the profession is worse, in my opinion, than the dishonesty, He says, I called my family, called her family, told them the wedding was off, took the financial hit, returned the rings. She begged me not to make a scene, said that we could work through it. that she still loved me. I told her I couldn't marry someone who let me blindly walk into something this big without telling me the truth. She moved out yesterday. Her stuff is gone. The place feels empty and somehow peaceful at the same time. I kept running it through my head. Could I have gotten past it if she told me earlier? Maybe, but not like this. Not right before the wedding. Not when trust should be at its highest point. You see, guys, I'm not one of these people who is all about like, oh, trust. You know, you just got to trust everyone, and trust makes the world go round, okay? I'm more of a pragmatist here, and the fact of the matter is this woman worked as a scripper, and I don't date those. I don't marry those. Not interested. And I think many men should maybe adopt the same sort of thinking here. You know, you don't have to. If you're a dude and you want to go out there and you want to marry one of these women, all I can say is good luck to you. I think it's unwise. I think a lot of men are not interested in doing this, and the women know that men don't want to marry them if they have this kind of background. Like, the women understand this, and that's exactly why they don't tell the men to begin with. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.